So a burst appendix. That's the reason Stormers hooker Mbonambi didn't play against the Jaguares the other day. If you're a Stormers fan, you've got to be cursing the rugby gods for just the injury toll at the start of this season. I know every team has got guys out in pre-season or from last season during the off-season. Whatever it is, everyone's affected one way or the other. But you got to feel for the Stormers. I mean, at the start of the season, you've just got Benny coming back after a long layoff. And yeah, he picks up an injury. And then Mbonambi, leading up to this game, gets us a burst appendix. When has that ever happened? Not in my memory, but I mean, it happens all the time. My mum had one when she was a kid, so it obviously happens. It's just really bad timing. So the Stormers are about to head off on what one commenter called the Tour of Death, because the Stormers are going away to the Waratahs. First game, they might be rusty, you might catch them. And then to the Crusaders. It doesn't get much easier. And then the Highlanders. So a quick stop in Australia and then a tough tour of the two southern New Zealand teams. And you are starting Samuels and Muir. Dean Muir as your backup. When he came on the weekend, I didn't know who he was. I had to have a quick Google, and it seems like he's pretty much a career Curry Cup player, which is fine. He didn't disgrace himself when he was on the field, so I think he gave away one penalty, was it? Samuels gave away a yellow card, so yeah, can't really complain. But Samuels and Muir, if you're a Stormers fan, is not exactly who you envisaged leading your front row around, is it? I mean, if you just look at last year's minutes, and I had a quick look, Samuels played an average of 17 minutes a game last season. So the other 62, 63, whatever, that Mbonambi was playing, because obviously Benny was out, it's pretty high numbers for a hooker. A lot of hookers get subbed not long after half-time. So in terms of average minutes, Mbonambi was playing the fourth highest minutes of all hookers in Super Rugby last season on average. So it kind of gives you a slight indication into where the coach's faith is at. I mean, if he only gets as good as him after he's been running around for 60 minutes, it's not showing all that much confidence in him. So he's now your front guy, and your guy who's never really played Super Rugby before is your backup. I mean, if there's a bright side to this, it is one of those kind of great sporting stories that, some guy who's probably had aspirations of doing great things and it never kind of panned out, and then these guys got injured and he finally gets his shot, and see what he does with it. He might have a blinder. But yeah, definitely not ideal if you're a Stormers fan. These aren't the guys you'd be picking to go on tour. And I mean, that's just the start of the injury list. You got Etzebeth out, you got Malherbe out, you got Vermaak out. Those are just the big guys. A bunch of the young guys are out as well. As a bin goes past my house. All these Stormers guys are in the bin, basically, aren't they? They're in hospital or recovery room physios. It's just bad luck. The bye is not till mid-April. Robbie Fleck must be thinking, my kingdom for a bye, honestly. Appendix. I feel for the man. I mean, you really want the Stormers to do well. And you feel sorry for the coach who's just got random stuff like this. This is not, they trained too hard and he did something that was a result of strenuous. No, it's just an appendix. it happens. So I think he's going to resume play after the tour. So I mean, at least it's not like a season-ending ACL injury from game 1 or anything like that. But still, it sucks. So yeah, we'll see how Muir goes. Keep an eye on him. I mean, remember years ago the Wallabies had like an injury crisis with their hookers, and they ended up playing Josh Manray in the Wallabies, and he was a real. I mean, he's not like a household name now, but he was definitely a big time kind of nobody then. And, you know, he's kind of got the starting Brumbies job now. So you never know, things can happen. But, yeah, definitely not ideal. If you know anything about D. Muir, let me know. Might have some interesting factoids. But, yeah, not one I'm all that familiar with. So we'll see how he goes. Good luck to him. Hope he enjoys the tour. Gets to do a bit of travel around Australia and New Zealand. He might get to go to Queenstown if he's in the South Island, New Zealand, which is always nice. So we'll see. All right, guys. I'll catch you again next time.